Hi, it's Lucy here, and today I'm going to compare die cutting machines as I'm hoping to help you decide what die cutting and embossing machine might be best for you if you're thinking about buying one. And if you don't need a new die cutting machine, hopefully this video will still be enjoyable and give you more card making ideas, as I'll be creating 4 lovely cards while giving some tips, tricks and more info on these machines too. So VEVOR have sent me their smaller machine, which is a 6-inch size, and this will be the first time I'm trying it out. So let's open it up and we'll take a look at what's included. I'll let you know prices and a discount code shortly too. So we have a lovely set of dies, and if you're completely new to die cutting and embossing, I'll be showing you how in this video. It also comes with this gorgeous embossing folder, and I'll create with this today too. You also receive 10 thick smooth papers in various colours as well, 2 of each colour, and I'll be using them as well. The machine comes very well packaged in a sturdy box and polystyrene to protect it. This is the first time I've had a smaller die cutter, and so far I love the size of it. It doesn't take up a lot of room on my desk, but it's still able to die cut large items, enough for card sizes. And like all die cutting machines, it needs some cutting and embossing plates. It has 2 cutting plates, an embossing plate and a base plate, and that's all you need, so it's nice and easy to remember. It's very easy to assemble as well. All we need to do is place the handle piece into the spindle and insert the screw, then use the Allen key to tighten it. You pop the end plug over the screw to make it look nice, and we're all good to go. And both the machines have a 12-month warranty on them as well, so if anything goes wrong with it, you can get a replacement. So I'm adding the base plate, which will always be at the bottom, and then we'll take a look in the instruction booklet. And this is so easy to read. I love how it has the illustrations as well, and on both of them it shows a photo of which machine it is, so it's nice and easy as well. So it shows how to emboss and die cut. So first I'm going to die cut, and it says to use the thick 5mm plate. And as you can see, I've got 3 plates here. One is 5 mils, it's a lot bigger, and the other 2 are a 3mm plate. Then I need to add the die cuts, and these are the shapes that I want to cut out. Then add the paper that I want to cut, and then add a thin 3mm plate on top. You have 2 of those. This top plate will always be my cutting plate now though, and I won't use the other one for the cuts. And I'll try to remember that, because if you keep it clean, it helps to keep your papers clean, as the cuts in the plate can show on your paper once it's gone through. For newbies that have never used one of these machines or don't know much about them, a manual die cutting machine is a tool used by card makers and crafters to cut various shapes, designs, words and patterns out of paper, cardstock, fabric and all sorts. The dies are generally metal, and you add them to the paper along with the required flat plates, and as the platform moves through the machine, it applies pressure to the dies, cutting the shapes into the material. Sorry about not showing taking the die cuts out of the paper. I didn't realize I was out of screenshot, but you could see they cut through perfectly when it went through the die cutting machine. I want to emboss a piece of paper as well, so I'll die cut a piece of paper into a rectangle, then I'll emboss it. And embossing creates a textured pattern on your paper. If we add the paper to the embossing folder and pop it through the machine, checking the instructions, and we need to use both of the thin plates, as the embossing folder is thicker than metal dies, and this helps to remember which plates to use. Use the thick one on thin metal dies and the thin ones on thick embossing folders. And these VEVOR machines are also suitable for use with any brands of thin metal dies as well, and the normal size embossing folders. Let's take a look at how this went. Oh wow, isn't it gorgeous? I love this pattern. I can see me using it a lot, and I do create a card with it later. I'm actually creating 4 cards today on this video, so stay tuned because they're quick, but they're really pretty actually. VEVOR had sent me their 9-inch die cutting machine a while back, and I did a review on that, and now they've asked me if I'd like to try out their smaller 6-inch die cutting machine to compare them, so you can all see both of them. And these die cutting machines are such great value, so I wanted to share the details with you all, and plus they've given me a 5% off discount code to give you all, and I love extra discounts. So let's do a comparison on these 2 machines, and this is VEVOR's other die cutting machine. It's the 9-inch, and the main difference between the 2 is of course the cutting areas of them. With the large machine, you have the ability to fold it up. The small one doesn't fold up, but this makes both of them a good size to keep on your desk. I feel it'll be easier if I call them large and small machines now you know their size. You'll receive the paper size perfect for each machine, and on the large one you're able to die cut an A4 size, which is an American letter size paper, so you can die cut a lot of items in one go. You can also die cut slimline dies, which are longer as well. On the smaller machine there's less rotating the handle as it has smaller plates to go through, so if die cutting just one small item, this does make it quicker. So as well as the paper pack, they also come with different die sets and different embossing folders as well. I don't know for sure that you'll receive exactly the same dies and embossing folders, but it will definitely be comparable if not the same. Now these aren't the cards I mentioned I'll be making on camera shortly. I have 4 cards I'll be creating in a minute, but I created these simple cards using only the items that came with the large machine. And this card I used the white, green and pink papers plus the flower die set. And I created both of these cards in the video where I reviewed the large die cutting machine. Then this last card hasn't been shown before, but I used the white, green, blue and brown papers along with the dog and bone dies and the polka dot embossing folder again. A tip when die cutting and embossing is to die cut first, and I'll show you why. This one I've die cut it into shape, then embossed it, and the embossing is beautiful. And this next one I embossed first and then I popped it through to die cut it into a rectangle, and you can see that it's flattened the texture of the embossing impression a bit. It's still there, but it's not as beautiful. Another tip is if you're having trouble with dies not cutting cleanly all the way through the paper, add a piece of printer paper, preferably recycled, to create a little more pressure, which helps to cut deeper. Try just 1 piece at a time. You can try 2 sheets, but be careful not to add too many layers for your machine to handle. Don't push it through with extra layers if you feel a lot of resistance, as you could break the machines. It's also a good idea to use washi tape to keep the dies in place, especially if the die and the piece of paper are similar in size like this. So now the fun part, I'll create some cards while we'll have a chat. And I have this gorgeous piece of paper and I want to make sure to die cut the rectangle exactly where it is. So I'll use low tack tape or washi tape to secure the dies in place. And if the tape is too tacky, just play with it to take some of the stickiness away so it doesn't tear your paper when you lift the tape off. I'm using papers and products from Uniquely Creative for these 4 cards today, and I'll also have product links in the description below for them as well. So if you watch my videos, you'll probably recognize this collection as I've used it a few times recently. These cards are easy and self-explanatory, even for beginners, I think, so it's perfect for watching while giving you more info on these die cutting machines too. And I've only just received this small die cutting machine and I've never had a small one before, so I'll let you know in a future video how I'm going with it and if I feel both is worth having or if I stick to using one more often than the other. I think it's going to be really handy having both, plus I also have my electric die cutting machine as well. Look how fast this card came together. So basically it's just the background paper. I've added a sentiment and I'm going to add some of these drops. This is Pops of Colour. It's from scrapbook.com. I think they're exclusive to them. I haven't used these before, so they come out a little bit faster than Nuvo drops, so I think it's just getting used to them. And I still just gave them a little whack on top of the bottle just to smooth them out a little bit. But then the card is done. How quick was that? So a little bit more about the company. And VEVOR have warehouses all over the world, or at least in Australia, the USA, Canada and UK. They have sold out of these machines in Europe since I did my first VEVOR review on the large machine. So if you are interested, please don't wait too long just in case this happens again. But I'm going to have links to each country's website down below in the description box. Just click on the word more and it shows the full description, including the 5% off code for my viewers too. Gosh, sorry, I'm just watching the video and I've realized that I've just finished the second card. That was pretty quick too, wasn't it? They're coming together so easily, but they're gorgeous. They were so easy to create. And I think sometimes it just helps. Die cutting really makes things look professional, but also the papers that you use and the products as well. And just quickly on these two cards that I make next, I did die cut both colors out, and then I'm making two cards out of the papers. And one of these is my favorite. I can't wait to hear what your favorite is. So as I mentioned, they do have warehouses in Australia, USA, Canada and UK, and so they have super quick delivery times in these countries. Mine arrived, I think, within 2 days. And shipping is free, which is incredible. Die cutting machines often cost a lot to send as the box is so bulky and heavy to post. The 5% off code as well works for all of the websites and for both machines or anything else that they have on their website as well. I think I mentioned before as well, they're so much cheaper than any of the other machines out there. In my opinion, these manual die cutting machines are amazing. The cutting and embossing is perfect. The price is so much cheaper than any other machines I've found here. And the same week free delivery, and in some cases next day delivery, is incredible. Okay, back to this card quickly, and I just want to show you there's different ways of bending butterfly wings. You can use any sort of tubular item, and it does make a difference the size of the tube. So you can use a pen or a craft knife like I did before, and then I have the lollipop stick as well, which is much thinner. And then you can also use a mouse pad and a stylus and use that to manipulate the paper so that the middle parts of the wings are more rounded. All three of them give a little bit of a different look, so it's personal preference as to what you like. But I think it looks much nicer than gluing down the wings on a butterfly. They always look so much prettier if the wings are up and you just glue the bodies. I hope you're enjoying this video. If you are interested in buying one of these machines, don't forget I have a 5% code in the description box below too. And I may also receive a small commission if you decide to buy one after watching my videos. So thank you in advance too. This really helps me to keep making videos. But although I may earn commission when you click on any of my product links, this doesn't influence what I show and create with. I only recommend products that I love using and companies that I know have great customer service. And you can always contact me if you do have any issues, if you've ever bought anything through any of my links. And if you're new to my channel and you're watching this because you love new products and seeing what's available, I recently created a video on my favorite craft items, and it has loads of inspiration, card designs and all sorts of craft ideas too, as well as everything that I love to use often, and I'll link it to the end of this video. I hope these card designs are inspiring you and you give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying it, and please share me with your friends if you can. I'd appreciate that very much if you do like watching my videos. This is my last card and I'm adding some rub-ons to it, which I really feel elevates the background. Have you used rub-ons before? I'd love to know whether you like using them too. Where I feel like I could add a little bit of an extra stem, I'm going to put the rub on so that it seems like it's still part of that whole big bunch of flowers. And to make this next rub on go further, I'm going to cut it on the diagonal, and then I'll use one part up the top of the flower bunch and one down the bottom. It doesn't really matter that you can't then read the full word. I just think it looks really nice in the background. Instead of fussy cutting the butterflies' antennas, I cut them off completely and then I can just draw them in with a thin black liner pen. I also, while I'm doing this part, I just want to send a little hello to one of my subscriber friends that had a tough day this week. Love and hugs to you, Bonnie. So these cards are just about finished now and I'll show you all 4 of them. Thank you for watching, and I hope that they've given you some ideas. If you're not subscribed and you feel like subscribing to my channel, that would be great. I love reading any comments. And don't forget, all the product links are down below, and I also have the 5% off code for the die cutting machines as well. So happy crafting!